So the Swiss with a pivotal win here today, securing third place in the group. And that means they'll avoid the Group B winner in the quarterfinals on Friday. We will wrap up this opening game here in Grand Casino Arena when we come back.
The 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship on TSN is brought to you in part by TELUS, now offering 5-year plan price lock on select mobility and internet plans. By ESSO, from the ESSO Medals program to representing Team Canada, ESSO is dedicated to Canada's game. And by Tim Hortons, proudly supporting over 100,000 Timbits hockey players in Canada.
From a first game to their biggest game. From ESSO medals to gold medals. We're dedicated to Canada's game.
Thank you for your time.
Wow.
Thank you, Kendra.
Tim, you're up.
Good morning. So I think really our focus is...
You're frozen.
Are we freezing? No, not today. Not today. Well, the numbers go. If you hear nothing else I say, I am going to let you down. You want to go with Kendra?
Yes.
Poor cable internet connection.
When the stakes are high, why rely on cable internet? Switch to Canada's most reliable internet technology with a 5-year plan price lock, only from TELUS.
Canada's Ultimate 50-50 is back. 3 huge draws across the country. It's Hockey Canada's biggest power play yet. Score your chance to win at hockeycanada5050.ca or scan the QR code on your screen.
When it all comes together, it could mean you're ready to talk to your doctor about Wegovy. Ask for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings.
Thank you for your time.
Wow.
Thank you, Kendra.
Tim, you're up.
Good morning. So I think really our focus is...
You're frozen.
Are we freezing? No, not today. Not today. Well, the numbers go. If you hear nothing else I say, I am going to let you down. You want to go with Kendra?
Yes.
Poor cable internet connection.
When the stakes are high, why rely on cable internet? Switch to Canada's most reliable internet technology with a 5-year plan price lock, only from TELUS.
Taking a look at Latvia and Czechia. Puck drop just moments away from the opening game of Group B on this final day of the preliminary round. We've got this one for you on TSN4, and those watching us here on TSN, we will get you there as soon as we are right from Minneapolis back to St. Paul, Minnesota. Dave Reed, Laura Dyken here with you once again. So the Swiss doing just enough to get that all-important 3 points and to secure a third spot in the group. We go back to the very first period, called it a plodding first period. Not much going on until about the final 2 minutes when it was the Swiss going on the 4-minute power play, and we're able to convert twice in 22 seconds, and that proved to be the difference.
I think this might be a prelude to the rest of the tournament, because it's going to come, it could come down to special teams and making sure that you are not taking penalties that you don't need to take. Now, there are some penalties that coaches and everybody says, well, that was a good time for that penalty. Well, this was not a good time for a cross-check to the face, and that's exactly what Tobias Tomek did. And the result of that is 2 power play goals. They tried a little bit earlier, did Switzerland, in the kind of a backdoor play, and it didn't work. And then they get the high tip. This is a lovely play. We've seen the Sedins do this and set this play up and create this play in Vancouver years ago. And then I call it the Crosby play, a similar type of play, except it's down low. Get to the side of the net. 2 quick goals, and both results on cross-seam passes and redirects by Switzerland. You don't normally see that 4-minute power play and the 2 minutes get converted at the same time, but that was the difference in the game. 22 seconds?
22
Am I right
seconds.
on that one? 22 seconds
I got
apart.
4-man power play wrong, but I got 22 seconds.
We got the 20 seconds right. It's all about 2s and 4s.
Yep.
Either way, that was really the difference in the game. Yeah, Switzerland, they kind of pulled back in the third period a little bit, and then Slovaks came on strong, no question about it. That's kind of expected. But this was a game where Switzerland got the lead. They dominated play for 2 periods. Slovakia couldn't really find their game until the third. but Switzerland converted on the power play, and they were perfect on their penalty kill in this game. Switzerland was 2 for 2. They remain perfect in the tournament, and that's like I say, I think we're going to see power plays be the difference as this tournament moves along as we get into the quarterfinal.
Canada, the only other team that has yet to allow a power play goal. And we did get the winning goal there in the second period. Kevin Haas, again, making his World Junior debut after sitting the first 3 games. Didn't play in the first period, and here he is getting the game-winning goal. So your updated standings now with Group A. 3 of the 5 spots are now locked in. Swiss in 3rd, Slovakia in 4th, and we already knew Germany would be playing in the relegation game on Friday. So still to be determined, yep, right at the top, 1st and 2nd. It'll either be Sweden or the U.S. And yes, 2 massive games still to come. Next for us here at Grand Casino Arena, the marquee matchup of the Group A preliminary round. That would be the battle for first place, and then another battle for first place, Canada and Finland to decide Group B. Again, that one gets underway with our pregame show at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. What more could you ask for? So now Switzerland and Slovakia know where they'll end up in the group. Just have to wait a little longer to find out who their next opponent will be on quarterfinal Friday. For Dave, Brian, Frankie, Britt, and all of us here at TSN, thanks for watching our continuing coverage of these 2026 World Juniors from the state of hockey.
From a first game to their biggest game. From ESO medals to gold medals. We are dedicated to Canada's game.
When it all comes together, it could mean you're ready to talk to your doctor about Wegovy. Ask for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
Day 6 of the 2026 World Junior Hockey Championship. The final day of the preliminary round brings together Czechia and Latvia with a game that's got lots on the line for these two clubs. Both guaranteed spots in the quarterfinals, but their position still to be determined. The officials for the game this afternoon, referees are Cedric Borga of Switzerland, Adam Tobias of the United States, the linesman Albert Ankarsjärni from Denmark, and Luka Mäkinen from Finland. The goaltender for Latvia is 19-year-old Nils Moritz, who plays for Omaha, the United States Hockey League. A 900 save percentage so far. And for the Czechs, Matthias Mašík gets the starting goal. He played against Denmark. The backup, Michal Oršelek, got the tougher games against Canada and Finland, but they're alternating goalies so far for the Czechs. Artis Abols guided his team to the quarters each of the last 2 years for Latvia, while behind the bench for the Czechs, Patrick Augusta has guided his team to medals in each of the last 3 World Juniors. Lots to play for on the final day. Earlier today,
on the time
the Swiss
box.
beat Slovakia.
Casper, here we go.
And a no-nonsense start for Cedric Borga as we get underway here in the first period.
Oh, enjoy the moment. Let's have a good game. Let's get right to it.
Drop the disc and let's go. Aris Siunskas plays that back around. Latvians very comfortable in this position of being the underdog. And they've beaten some good teams in recent years, including Canada and the Czechs. That's played back to the point. A long shot by the captain, Oskars Briedis. And the Czechs are coming off that emotional overtime win against the Finns. They scored in the first 2 minutes of the game, made it stand up until the last minute of regulation time when the Finns tied it up. And then the Czechs won it in overtime on that goal by that man, Adam Jiricek. One of the great overtime goals we've seen at any level. Robert Snaudic brings it back in. Played back to the point. Retinites with a shot deflected back in front by Sirkins and knocked away and back out to center. The lead pass for Nautic missed. Icing called against the Latvians.
The Czechs have a real swing, though. They could be up to second or they could be down to fourth, and it will really impact the rest of their tournament, especially with USA and Sweden securing the top two seeds in the other group. They really want to avoid that at all costs, and the Jiricek overtime goal gave them a chance to still hang in there, depending on the result for tonight.
Off the draw, Novotny, a shot that goes wide. Radim Mertka, who made his tournament debut in that game against the Finns, plays it across to Galvis. Long shot from Thomas Galvis. Flex wide. Galvis leads all defensemen in the tournament with 6 points. Novotny to Galvis. Up at the Hawk. But for that end, it was knocked down at the line by Marcus Zaratskas. And the talk of the tournament is the goal scored by Adam Jiricek in overtime on Monday against the Finns.
What a time to pull this off. He gets lost behind coverage, and he goes with the between the legger perfectly as Rivney goes to the poke check. He goes upstairs for a defenseman to come up with that in that moment. It's just spectacular stuff for Adam Jiricek, who incidentally leads the tournament in ice time per game as well at 24.5.
He said he'd been messing around with that move in practice. So you decided to put out in the game in overtime? Okay.
Trying stuff in practice is very different than pulling that off in overtime.
I've been chipping with my 3-wood once in a while. I thought I'd try it on the 18th green in the final round of the Masters just to see how it goes. Work for it. There's Figel with a sharp angle shot that's knocked away by Mauric. Back at the point, Mod plays that back in. Finishing the top two is paramount for the Czechs.
They can only control what they can control, is winning this game and give themselves a chance, and they're pulling out their Team Canada pom-poms and hope that Canada beats Finland.
Albert Schmitz back to pick it up. And a goal and 2 assists for the Latvians in their 6-3 win over Denmark yesterday. Move back around. Jiricek gets to that. Adam Jiricek's older brother was the top defenseman in this tournament in 2023. David Jiricek now playing here in Minnesota for the Wild. Jakob Fibiger moves it across the line, takes that return pass from Jiricek. The two defensemen leading the rush for the Czechs. Chihas back in the corner with it for Sikora. Sikora wearing a full cage here because he got clipped in the face a couple of games ago. Plays that for Fibiger. Centers it. And that pass by Nestrashil is knocked away. Tapped down by Chihas. Asievskis moved that to the line, but not out. Helped by Sikora for Chihas. For Nestrashil. Shoots, and the save made by Mauric. The rebound skipped away from Wojtek Chihas. Chihas back to the line. Fibiger back for Jiricek. Has a look and shoots, and Mauric kicked that out. Fibiger taps that back for Chihas. In for Sikora. And Sikora in tight space through that back in front, and Roland Naglis picks it up for the Latvians, making his tournament debut. Just added to the roster this morning, which is legal. Even if you hold a spot, you can't replace players
unless a goaltender or two is hurt. Right. Then you can replace one of those from someone not on the roster.
Bouncing puck goes to Roberts Polis. And Polis jumps in across the line, drops that back. The return pass was broken up from Ansons and brought back by the Czechs. Politin winds back in, drops it for Benak. That's poke checked away, and the Latvians counterattack. This is Kristers Ansons. Needs a change and flips that back down to the Czech zone.
So Latvia really struggled in the second half of their back-to-back earlier in the tournament. Great against Canada, struggle against Finland. See if they have more today.
In comes Novotny with it. Hawk plays that back to Pesanichka. In for Hawk. Pesanichka. Long shot was blocked. Bounces back to the corner. Hawk quickly after it. The line's there with Bearskowns. Hawk pulls that free. Long shot, and Malrich knocked that away.
Oh, high stick.
And Serkic is clipped with a high stick, and the Latvians will get the game's first power play. 5 minutes in as Novotny goes off. And Novotny went right to the box.
He did not bother fighting it. He knew it. Offensive zone, lots of time there. Novotny takes one swipe trying to pick the stick. And, ooh, can we have one more look at that?
Aye.
And here's a nice little, this Sikra. How about that out of the boards? Looks like a dead play and slides it through his feet. And Sinichka's taken some big wall-ups in this tournament. He's been on the receiving end of a few big hits.
I don't know how hard Novotny.
That might have been a tap to the shoulder area more so than the chin. Now, I'm not going to criticize anyone for flinching when a stick gets near their face. We're not all Kobe Bryant on the inbound play, like, you know, stone cold. I don't know if that one caught him.
Latvians are 3 for 9 on the power play. The Czechs have allowed just 1 goal on 10 opposition power play attempts. Ansons plays that back for Schmitz. That's blocked. 3 different Latvians have scored the power play. Osmanis, who has one of the goals, takes that return pass. Back to Schmitz. To Osmanis. Going to work it back across for Ansons. Twisters Ansons to Schmitz. Back to Ansons. Rathkis is parked in front. Ernieks playing pitch and catch here with Schmitz. Now back down to Ansons. Played it back across, and Osmanis can get a shot away. Osmanis back for Schmitz. Minute to go on the power play. Osmanis shoots, bouncing puck in front, they score! Christers Ansons pokes home the rebound, and the power play goal gives Latvia a 1-0 lead. And the big man coming off a 4-point game against Denmark gives Latvia the early lead.
The penalty that was called on Novotny, he didn't fight it, so Latvia goes to power play. They are very patient, working around the edges, trying to find a seam, and finally, Figer gets caught staring at Osmanis, the shooter, and goes right past him. How many times have we seen that bank shot? Whether it's Sidney Crosby or Tyler Bertuzzi or Ansons here. Give him a stick, give him a couple blades, and a big target to sling one across the crease, and Latvia opens the scoring.
Ansons, a 6'4", 200-pounder, played for Blainville Boisbriand in the Quebec League last year. And he's got the Latvians ahead, so exactly where they want to be. Nowdic plays that back ahead. We have seen at every level with Latvia that they have a very competitive style, no matter who they play. That long shot off the post, Malrich down, and he quickly freezes that.
What a wrister on the rush. As Zranchak, who has not played a lot in this tournament.
Hasn't played at all. It's the first game.
Puts it past Mornage. And here's the one. That's a really good pass. Sikara's trying to get back to it, but it's really Fibiger's responsibility.
13:34 to go in the first period. Latvia's got an early 1-0 lead.
It is the work that no one sees. It is relentless. It screams at you. One more set, one more rep, one more time. It is what fuels you. Gatorade. Is it in you?
On a crisp winter night by a couch twice their size, gathered a family who saw things with childlike eyes. What was this festive feel? Why, the Tim's holiday meal. There were lattes and donuts topped off with Biscoff, flatbread pizzas with festive fun socks. Let's light up the tree, we heard them cheer. Oh, well, they laughed. A small blunder, my dear. So if you too want that magical feel, feed your inner child with the Tim's holiday meal.
Latvia jumps out to the early 1-0 lead on the power play goal. Good rotation. Anson posts up on the back door, and Osmanis finds him back there, and this is exactly the start Latvia wanted. Obviously, they want to get up 1-0, but to get it early, to get involved in the game, to energize the bench when they're coming off a back-to-back yesterday, all good stuff for Latvia early on.
That must be that guy's lucky shirt. Mom with a shot that deflects wide. The only explanation for why it's apparently never been washed.
He's not going to clean it until they win the World Juniors.
Latvia ices it here. All right, well,
why not?
Might be a long wait, but Latvia 7th last year, tied for the best finish ever. They will not go down to relegation. They will be in the top division for a 6th straight year next year.
That looks like the practice jersey you leave in your summer bag the entire time. By the end of the summer, it's kind of yellow, kind of crusty, but you still put it on every time you go play.
Bulletin back with it. Fibiger moves in and shoots, and was blocked by Bears Scouts. And now we got 2 going here. It's going to be Benak for the Czechs, and or Benak for the Benak for the Czechs rather, and Vitols for Latvia. So they were fencing in front.
Czechia number 20, Latvia number 6, both have minor penalties for cross-checking.
A little too excited in the engagement down by the front of the net. Benak is a smaller player, but he fights for his offensive positioning. Vito's trying to keep him out of there. 2 for crossing. There's 1. There's 2. Vito's got the one up higher.
Okay.
So 2 in the back for 1 in the cheek is the trade they're making.
Okay.
5-on-5. We continue on.
Seeker was that face-off back to Nestershil. That's left Nestershil for Fibiger. 17 Czechs play in North America. Nestershil's the only one playing in the NCAA. One of the top freshman goal scorers at UMass. Seeker tries to pull that free. The other 16 play in the CHL. High number even for the Czechs, who have traditionally had a lot of players in the Canadian Hockey League. Sikora plays it back across. Nestershil shoots. Stop made by Maric, and Nestershil's into it. With Harris Sionskis.
Let it go! Let it go! In the fucking head! Can we referee both sides?
I'd like you to referee both sides. I was hit in the head, says Vaslav Nestershil.
First round pick of Chicago in 2025. The pick they got from Toronto was part of the Jake McCabe trade. There'll also be a 2nd round pick this coming draft for that. There's Kyle Davidson, the Blackhawks GM. They're building a program there. They like a lot of the young players they have. Got off to a great start. They've cooled off a bit of late.
Probably were overachieving the run of play early on, but once they lost Connor Bedard, it's going to be difficult to hang in there, but certainly much better than years past for Kyle Davidson's group in Chicago.
Murtka looks ahead to Novotny. Pops it back to Galvis. Tomas Galvis centers it, bouncing puck, and just missing on that was Novotny. It's played back to center ice. Radim Murtka, 1st round pick of Buffalo. One of the 3 first-round picks on this Czech roster. Jiricek and Nestershil are the others. Czechs also lost Adam Yeko, who was a terrific player for them last year. He hurt his hand walking to practice. Slipped walking to the ice, broke his hand. Also without goaltender Jakub Mitala, who likely would have been their number 1. He got hurt in early December. Rudil moves in. Dranchak trying to pick that free. And behind the goal, that's knocked loose. There's Dranchak back on it. Chris crossing with Gubiasa. Lifted by Naudich back to center ice. And Serkins was reaching for that, but Klima closed in quickly on him. Shots are 5-2 Czechia. Latvia leads 1-0. Klima chips it back down to the Latvian zone. Schmitz going to work that free. At the line, Fibiger plays it back to Jiricek. Jiricek shoots. Deflected puck got down to the goal line, and Maric kicked that away. Knocked back up by Cloutsands. And Saratkas moved that ahead, jumping in his Bearskells. Put that high. Saratkas. Pass a little high for Bearskells. Even Crostick could catch that one. Ice back to pick it up. Latvians open with the overtime loss to Canada. Beat 8-0 by the Finns. You talked about the letdown the next day. They came back and beat Denmark 6-3 yesterday. That shot by Briannis was blocked. And it's back to center ice. Czechs lost their opener 7-5 to Canada, that wild Boxing Day game, then beat the Danes 7-2, then the overtime win against the Finns. On the spectacular goal by Juricek. Max Curran winds in for Galvis. Centers it, bouncing puck. Politin reaching for it, scores! Tomasz Politin on the second try pokes it home, and the game is tied at 1.
Politin does a really good job staying with the play as he gets his 3rd of the tournament. He's been a good player on this line as well, but play behind the net, thrown back out by our famous offensive defenseman Galvis, and it's a slow rolling puck. Politin drops to a knee, but still on a knee. He's able to shove it with his bottom skates so that he can get a stick on it and kick it in empty net. That was the slowest 2-foot goal you could imagine. But Galvis right in the thick of it all again. The leading scoring defenseman in this tournament, Thomas Galvis for Czechia, in behind the net to set up Politin on the tap-in.
Politin plays for Kelowna in the Western Hockey League, an Islander 4th-round pick. 12 of these Czech players are drafted. They like this group. 6 back from last year. 10 are young enough to return next year. Chias works back in front. That's knocked away by Vitos. Medals in 3 straight for the Czechs. They had not won a medal in 17 straight World Juniors prior to that. Galvis pivots back, being shadowed there by Murnieks. Corsikara threads it back in front. Oh, what a move! Great chance in front for Nestrashil, and a terrific stop made by Maric. A penalty coming to the Latvians. Moments after the Czechs tie it up, they'll go to the power play at the World Junior Hockey Championship.
By joining the skilled trades, you'll make a living while making places to live. You'll build a strong, stable career for today and for tomorrow. Plus, with over 140 skilled trades to choose from, there's more opportunity than ever to build a bright future for all of us. Building stronger communities right here at home. That's how we protect Ontario.
This holiday season, give the gift of endless entertainment.
All right, should we roll?
Right now. Get Crave starting at $3.99 a month for your first 3 months. And stream hit series.
Okay, on my couch.
Canadian Crave Originals.
Where is the elevator? It's busted.
Plus, bring on the festive magic with iconic classics.
Best time of the year.
Get Crave starting at $3.99 a month for your first 3 months. Ends January 12th. Terms apply. Only available at crave.ca/subscribe.
Fresh off of tying the game, Czechia will head to a power play as Zianskis picks up a hooking penalty. He didn't like it. I'm not sure why he would argue. He's got it right under this armpit of Nestrashil, who gets 1 and 2 shots. Good save by Murnieks, but a power play that has scored 4 times in the tournament for Czechia has been pretty good. Has a chance to take the lead.
Latvia number 10, minor penalty for hooking.
Czechs are 4 for 13 on the power play. Latvians allowed 3 power play goals on 9 opposition attempts. Mate Kubiesa leads the way for the Czechs with 2 power play goals. Has goals in back-to-back games for them. Not out to start this one. It's Max Curran for the faceoff. Doesn't sound like a Czech name. His dad's Irish, but he was born in Prague. Benak with it. And Curran's been a good player for the Czechs.
They're in a support role to Banach and Bulletin.
Plays for the Edmonton Oil Kings in the Western League. Curran trying to move that ahead. That pass was blocked. Gathers it back up. And pivots back the other way. Curran. Back across to Nestrashil. To Banach, who has done everything but score a goal so far in this tournament. He's been all over it.
He's going to get one tonight.
Played back across. Hard shot, score! Jiricek on the power play. And this time it's a blast from distance. And it's 2-1 Czechia. Jiricek's third goal of the tournament.
That's impressive from Jiricek. He tickled the Raptors on the backswing. He's way wide as Nestrashil walks across. Look at Jiricek. He's almost at the edge of the circle. And usually when the puck is passed this far, the goaltender can get to the post, but when you hit it this hard, it's on the ice. Lawrence can't get over fast enough. Hard pass, harder shot, and the power play strikes quickly to give Czechia the lead.
Jiricek's got goals in 3 straight games. The St. Louis first rounder.
He is growing on me as this tournament goes along.
And remember, he got hurt in the first game of the World Junior 2 years ago. For his ACL. And he might be a candidate to follow in the family tradition of being named as tournament's top defenseman. Lots of competition for it, but he's been really good. And he's got the recency bias of behind real overtime goal.
He's got some goals, leads in ice time. If his team goes deep, he'll have a strong case.
Bears counts. Plays it up for Cloutsands. Cloutsands lines and shoots off the post. Off the pipe and out. And what a look for Cloutsands.
What a rush. This is a breakdown in coverage and a breakdown in communication for Czechia. There are 2 defensemen out there, Mans and Pesnička. Think that the forward is going to stay with Cloutsands, and Hook just lets him go and has him skate through because he thinks the defenseman's taking him. And he's in alone, beats the goaltender, but not the post. Nice rush.
Biesa tried to clear that back out. Klima chipping at it. Take a drink. Klima is not related to Peter Klima, the former NHL player. Mention it once a game, just to get out of the way.
People are thinking it. We did.
Biesa. Chips that back ahead. Runchak trying to find it. There's Kubiesa. Dances in the corner. Walks back up, feeds that back. Galvas a long shot. Glove save. Made by Maurich.
So there's certain shots at a power play, depending on who's taking them, are good or bad shots. A lot of players this one-timer, not a great shot, but when you can shoot as hard as he can, I guess it's a good one. And you watch that replay, Maurich dips his head to the left of the screen of Politin just as the pass is made, and that's why he's late getting across. He was moving left, then he saw the pass had to go right, and by the time he got to the post, it was too late.
Sienski's back across to Schmitz. In center ice and fires that down. Ansons, who has the Latvian goal, which gave them the lead, plays that away, but it's knocked down by Jiricek or Nestrashil. Out to center ice, and Chihas plays it back down to the Latvian zone. Nautic. They're tied up in the corner, and Sikora wins that battle for the puck. So good in tight spaces. Feeds that back. Jiricek shot trickles down. Maurich makes the save.
So at the very least, the shots are lopsided for sure, and Czechia is pushing play. But that early goal for Latvia does keep them in the game emotionally. Keeps it tight, and the plan for Artisable's group would be let's just try to keep it within 1 or 2 for the first 40 minutes and take our chances in the third.
Benak plays it back across for Pesanichka. Chipped back in by Politin. Benak goes back after Polis. And then batted down by Curran. And Polis tries the other side, but Benak batted that down. Curran plays it back for Pesanichka. Cross for Mann, a rolling puck, shoots, that flutters wide. Polis back on it. Naudich plays it back to center. And a good hit there by Mann as he knocked Serkins off stride. Brought back up by Cloudsands. For Saranskas, that shot goes off the leg of Murta. And Maturka plays it back out for Politin. Maurich back to play it. Leaves it there for Vitols. Latvians have 14 back from last year and 10 who can return, which underlines how young their team was in Ottawa last year.
All the more surprising with their tremendous results last year.
Galvis across to Novotny. Works back in. Novotny tied up. Cloudsands, who got ejected from the game against Canada, plays it back in. Cloudsands up to center ice. Latvia beaten 3-2 by Sweden in the quarterfinals last year. That came right down to the wire. The Swedes took a late penalty. Latvia was on the power play with a chance to tie that game. Pass to center ice was knocked away from Flugans. And Jiricek looks ahead. In comes Klima. Klima winds that towards the goal. Now spinning and shooting is Kubiesa. Brownchak parked in front. Fibiger. Down to Klima. Jiricek shoots. Whistled that wide. Kubiesa. Back to Fibiger. Jiricek walks right in. He's poke checked there by Schmitz. And Jiricek trying to play that back in as they glove it back down at center ice. Still to come on this side of the draw tonight. Canada versus Finland in St. Paul. Sweden against the United States.
That's going to be a good one as well.
Now icing called against the Czechs.
And one thing, when you're in the World Junior Tournament for more than 2 years, the inclination is maybe to start picking apart the game because you've seen a player so many times. But to see Jiricek's game continue to grow, albeit didn't play very much the first year with the injury, would be a real positive for the St. Louis Blues. That he's adding different elements to his game and it's getting better at different parts as he's maturing.
In comes Sikora. Trying to slide that back across. It's poked away by Brietas. Nestrashil for Sikora. Cross-ice pass by Nestrashil is picked off by Naudich. Now Chias wins that battle for the puck and moves it back to Mon. Pesanichka. Back down the Latvian zone. At the line that skipped away from Pesanichka and picked up by Naudich. Long shot knocked away by Mashi. 12-4 the shots in favor of the Czechs in a 2-1 lead. Politin winds back in, looks back down to Benak. Rolls back in front. Maurich played that away. Galvis hustles back. Back across to Pesanichka. In for Curran. Max Curran. Oh, what a move there by Curran. Got around Flugans, but knocked away by Pumpas. Losing the side of the goal, and Politin knocked that free. Inside 2 to go here in the first period. Benak centers, a great chance in Taker. Curran, the rebound hammered wide by Maturka, or by Murtka rather. Murtka just missed there. Politin looks back ahead. Benak flips it back across the top to Galvis. Galvis pivots back. Feeds that to Benak. Back for Galvis. Walking in. Hold. Little backhand shot of Malrich. Makes the save on that. 2-1. The Czechs with the lead. 1:27 to go here in the first period at the 2026 World Junior Hockey Championship.
We are made in Canada. Homegrown, Canadian owned and operated. We're neighbors. Friends. Family. We're more than just made in Canada. We're a fabric of Canada.
Locked in a stare down with Mother Nature, some wilt, but others push forward. They are the real ones, and they drink a real good light beer. Sleeman Clear 2.0. Real ones know.
We present to you some of the biggest stars and biggest dramas on Paramount Plus, like Tom Hardy in Mobland, Michael C. Hall in Dexter Resurrection, and Billy Bob in Landman.
Stream Paramount Plus.
From a first game to their biggest game. From ESSO medals to gold medals. We are dedicated to Canada's game.
Czechia almost stretch it out to a 3-1 lead. Max Curran wide open in front. Quick little steal by Benak, kicks it out to him. And you just got to try to elevate that. He drops to a knee to try to get it up, but doesn't get it over the pad. He knows what he's trying to do. He just doesn't quite pull it off. Anywhere in the air above the pad, that side of the net, it gets to the back of the net. And you see Max Curran muttering to himself.
Smart player. Played for Tri-City, the Western League last year. In his 13 core classes in high school, his average was 100%. He won the CHL Scholastic, or the Western Hockey League Scholastic Player of the Year award.
Respect. Well done, Max Curran.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
If he didn't, you'd have to wonder what happened.
Yeah, who's got 101?
Jiricek shoots at the flex wide. Tippiger back on it. Hawk back with it. Final minute now, the opening period. Hawk pivots back in the corner. Watch there by Murnieks. Hawk plays that back to Tippiger. Back across. Jiricek shoots. That was blocked. The puck bounces back down to Novotny. Jiricek calling for the puck every time the Czechs have it. Tippiger back across to Jiricek. Works around Hansons. Jiricek centers it, got away from Hawk and back down the ice. There was a pileup in front of the Latvian goal there. As Tippiger has it back. Cross for Jiricek. Jiricek works back in. Great move. Jiricek centers it, and that pass just missed Hawk.
You're right. Jiricek's got a little taste now, and he wants the offense.
Yeah, he's feeling it. I wonder what else he's worked on in practice.
Wait till overtime to find out.
Yeah. Could be SF. The drive check plays it back across. That shot whistled wide by Klima. And the Czechs will go to the dressing room with a 2-1 lead through the first 20 minutes. It's day 6 of the 2026 World Junior Hockey Championship in Minnesota.
I'm the best you've ever had. If you think I'm burning out, I never am. I'm on fire. I'm on fire.
Fireball.
From a first game to their biggest game. From ESSO medals to gold medals. We are dedicated to Canada's game.
Inspired by the strength of a diamond, every stitch reflects our resilience, pride, and belonging, forged through time and pressure. Canada's 2026 Olympic jersey, a symbol forged in ice.
Crease,
Your home is your happy place. Until you come back to bad odors. Use Febreze plug-in with Fade-Defy technology. It has 2 complementary scents that alternate to constantly fight odors and give noticeable freshness. It even reminds you when to refill, so you can always be sure that your home smells fresh and clean for up to 50 days. Enjoy the freshness of Febreze plug-in.
TD Easy Line, how can I help you?
Wow, TD really is available anytime, huh?
Yep, even at
11:33 p.m.
Good. Because I lost my debit card?
No worries. You can lock it with the TD app.
That's great.
Would you like us to order a replacement card?
Let's do that. I better call you back.
Literally anytime.
Give me the keys. Julian, come.
Switch to TD for better banking anytime. TD, ready for you.
This is the Mercy Capital Court, powered by artificial intelligence. Detective Raven, you're charged with the murder of your wife.
I'm not guilty.
You have 90 minutes to prove it, or you will be executed.
Use the tools.
Every camera, cell phone, and database is at your disposal.
Show me everyone she had contact with. She was seeing someone. Solve the mystery. Can I see my daughter's socials?
Hear that?
Someone was in my basement. Or face execution.
You're running out of time.
Bring that back? No, I have something here. Oh my God.
Mercy. Only in theaters January 23rd.
We're going to be playing the EU All-Stars.
This EU team is spectacular.
Players here are overrated.
They are not scared of them.
Hear that, Scherzi?
The PWHL is more than a league. It's a family.
Dedication, unity, anything it takes.
Shared moments.
Shoots and scores!
Shared passion.
The real deal.
Your first intermission here on TSN 2-1 Czechia in the second last game here in Group B. Canada-Finland is your finale a little bit later on tonight. James Duffy back alongside Cheryl Pounder. I remember watching David Jiricek when we were in Halifax together in that tournament and how great he was. He was named the best defenseman in the tournament. And I don't know that Adam is not better the way he's played in this one.
It's been incredible, really, and you look at the back end for Czechia, they're so complete, and whether it's Jiricek or whether it's Galvis, Murka, this is a group that really finds a way to elevate their game. They can shut down the cycle, but boy, do they activate. Look at Galvis through the middle of the ice. I mean, he creates that 2-on-1. He's going to get the primary here. I mean, he came in with 2 goals and 4 assists, playing over 20 minutes, and then you talk about Jiricek. Look at this bomb. I mean, no one gets over to defend the dot. He had 15 shots on goal coming in, but the beauty was in that overtime. I mean, look at through the legs, Danson. That's a defender in front of the net to go through the legs and top shelf. I mean, this is just showing the skill set of this guy. He's been activating. You see him on the back end. You see him on the blue line. You see him diving down. It's just incredible to watch him and Galvis in particular move. I feel like they're floating out there, Jimmy, and the way that they're creating space for others, and of course, how they just dominate the offensive zone.
By the way, that goal by Jiricek wasn't just a big highlight on TSN. It was #1 on ESPN's top highlights that day, on a day with NFL games and bowl games. So making waves everywhere. And when he joins the St. Louis Blues, they have a dandy in store. We have much more ahead for you here in intermission #1. We're going to focus on that other Team Canada named today. Sam Bennett didn't make it. Nick Suzuki did. Darren Drago will join us to talk about some of the omissions and some of the guys who did make it on what is an absolutely stacked Team Canada roster.
Great play starts with an assist. Off the ice, an assist can change a life. The Hockey Canada Foundation Assist Fund helps kids lace up and play the game we love. Give your greatest assist at hockeycanadafoundation.ca.
Canada's Ultimate 50-50 is back. 3 huge draws across the country. It's Hockey Canada's biggest power play yet. Score your chance to win at hockeycanada5050.ca or scan the QR code on your screen.
Right now at Harvey's, you can get 2 flame grilled burgers for just $8. Make it an original, veggie, or one of each, and top them just the way you like. That's 2 burgers for $8, only until February 1st.
Every Sunday night, he can't sleep. But not this Sunday.
When you really need to sleep, ZzzQuil has no equal. Sleep soundly so you can wake refreshed. ZzzQuil, not for colds, just for sleep. Really sound sleep.
TD Easy Line, how can I help you?
Wow, TD really is available anytime, huh?
Yep, even at
11:33 p.m.
Good, because I lost my debit card.
No worries. You can lock it with the TD app.
That's great.
Would you like us to order a replacement card?
Let's do that. I better call you back.
Literally anytime.
Give me the keys. Julian, come.
Switch to TD for better banking anytime. TD, ready for you.
Tide OxyMax Power Pods one-ups the cleaning power of liquid.
Can it one-up spaghetti night?
It sure can.
Really?
Can it one-up breakfast in bed?
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, boys. What about that?
Yep.
It can?
Yeah, even that.
I would very much like to see that.
Me too.
Tide OxyMax Power Pods one-up the toughest stains with 50% more cleaning power than liquid detergent. Any further questions?
Nope.
One-up the power of liquid with Tide OxyMax Power Pods.
I'm Bowser Jr., and I'm gonna be taking my father now!
Hi, I'm Luigi.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Your hockey game of 2025 comes your way tonight. Canada, Finland, we're on with the pregame show at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Drop of the puck a little bit after 8:30 p.m. The other team, Canada, was named earlier on today, and as you knew it would be, the roster's absolutely stacked. 4 new forwards from the Four Nations roster. Macklin Celebrini leads the way there. Nick Suzuki of the Canadians, Bo Horvat and Tom Wilson are the other new guys, and 2 new goalies, Logan Thompson and Darcy Kemper. The D, the exact same 8 guys from the Four Nations tournament. Insider Darren Dreger had the roster pretty much nailed before it was announced today, and look, it's an awesome team. We always need to say that before we get to the nitpicking of some people upset about guys being left off, and probably at the top of that list right now is Sam Bennett. Why did Sam Bennett, the Conn Smythe winner, not make it on this team?
Well, I guess there is such a thing as having too much of a good thing, and I think that's how the Canadian management group and the coaching staff would have had to have viewed the omission, the decision to not put Sam Bennett on the main roster. They did add Tom Wilson. Of course, you've got Brad Marchand, who plays a similar role. But you're right, James. I mean, look at the resume of Sam Bennett. You see the Stanley Cups. You see the Conn Smythe. You see the leadership that he brings to any team, especially internationally. A big surprise.
And having a really good season as well. You had been speculating before that you were thinking that it would be Bo Horvat or Nick Suzuki, not both of them. What made Hockey Canada decide to include both?
Well, they just flat out both earned it. It comes down to that. And look, I think that there was some consternation when you look at bringing both these guys. But in Bo Horvat's case, or in Suzuki's case, you know, Nick Suzuki has been tremendous for the Montreal Canadiens this year. Big night last night. Horvat, it goes back to the Men's World Championship where he was a standout there, and he continued his play at that level with the New York Islanders until he was injured. Look, so many difficult decisions here, right? The coaching staff had to feel comfortable with the players that could play in multifaceted different roles. And so, sure, we can look at Anthony Cirelli being a coach's favorite with John Cooper. We can look at both Horvat and Suzuki being added. But at the end of the day, the coaching staff has to go with who they're comfortable with.
You're right. Horvat and Suzuki earned their way on by the way they played this year and somewhat to the Worlds. Jordan Binnington did not make this team on the way he's played this year. He's had a miserable season for St. Louis. Doug Armstrong said that John Cooper and the other coaches and management really fought hard for Binnington. So here's one player who made it completely on resume.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And you look back at that resume, and it's a resume of being a Stanley Cup champion. And if we're allowing some recency bias, I do think you have to look at the Four Nations contribution of Jordan Binnington and the role that he played in winning gold medal for Canada. You're right. I mean, his numbers this year in the National Hockey League aren't good enough. But as Doug Armstrong described after Canada made its announcement today, the team in St. Louis isn't very good. And they feel comfortable in the trio that they have in Logan Thompson and Darcy Kemper. But I still believe that Jordan Binnington has the job as starter until he loses that job.
It's interesting. Doug Armstrong did not want to talk about the players who didn't make the team, but he made one exception. And that was Matthew Schaefer, who he admitted at the beginning of the season was not on his radar. Frankly, he wasn't really on anyone's radar. He was an 18-year-old rookie defenseman in the NHL, and yet got this close.
That close. And if there's an injury, and whether it happens on the blue line or it happens up front, you know, just statistically, it's likely there is going to be an injury for Team Canada. If there is on defense, and I think Matthew Schaefer is arguably their first call. Maybe Evan Bouchard of the Edmonton Oilers. But this guy fully played his way into the conversation, but you have to allow for the reality. He's an 18-year-old with a limited resume in terms of experience.
Most believe Bedard didn't make it because of the injury, but you say that's not necessarily the case. He may not have made it anyway.
No, and I'm uncomfortable saying that because it feels like it's a slight on the year that he's had. You know, when you look at the body of the work here, I mean, this guy hasn't played a tremendous amount of hockey at the NHL level. His underlying defensive numbers aren't great, but he's had a heck of a year leading up to that injury. I don't think he was on the team, injury or otherwise.
Again, a possibility, I suppose, that he gets on if one of the guys gets hurt, depending on who gets hurt up front. Group E standings. If Canada wins tonight, they finish first. If Finland wins tonight, they finish first. But if Finns lose and Czechia wins this game, Czechia would bounce up to second place in the group. Now in Group A, one game is already done. Switzerland beat Slovakia. What does that mean? That means if Canada wins tonight, they'll play Slovakia in the quarters. If Canada loses, they will play Switzerland in the quarters. Sweden and the U.S. will battle it out for first.
On a crisp winter night by a couch twice their size, gathered a family who saw things with childlike eyes. What was this festive feel? Why the Tim's holiday meal? There were lattes and donuts topped off with Biscoff, flatbread pizzas with festive fun socks. Let's light up the tree, we heard them cheer. Oh, well, they laughed. A small blunder, my dear. So if you too want that magical feel, feed your inner child with the Tim's holiday meal.
Do you mind if I ask you a question? What do you make?
Well, apparently the average person makes 6 friends a year, makes 7 jokes a day, and makes about 19 people blush. We'll make 1.4 babies. Make sense of that math. On average, you make a life that is by no means average. And then you make a mean grilled cheese. Scotiabank, you're richer than you think.
But Tavares keeps it going, and it's John Tavares behind the net. To the other front, John Tavares! They finally caught lightning in a bottle!
It takes ages to build character. From the age of enlightenment to the age of rekindled passion. That's why Gibson's Finest Rare is aged for 12 years. Gibson's Finest, one for the ages.
Every Sunday night, he can't sleep. But not this Sunday.
When you really need to sleep, ZzzQuil has no equal. Sleep soundly so you can wake refreshed. ZzzQuil, not for colds, just for sleep. Really sound sleep.
So what's it like being Newport Win?
I find that people here are demanding.
Yeah, our new doctor, start doctorate.
Too chatty.
Doug B.
Irrational.
Do you like it here?
It's not what I said.
Best Medicine starts Tuesday on CTV. Stream next day on Crave.
This is the ED. It's not for the faint of heart.
Welcome back.
Who else is going to get this place through the 4th of July?
I could use a second set of hands.
And so it begins.
The 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship on TSN is brought to you in part by Wegovy. Visit wegovy.ca for savings. Some exclusions may apply.
The Latvians got to the start they wanted, a 1-0 lead with the early power play goal, but then two for the Czechs. Politin and Adam Jiricek both have their third of the tournament. The Czechs outshoot Latvia 14-3 in the opening 20. Gord Miller back with Mike Johnson. Adam Jiricek made waves with that brilliant overtime goal the other day, but he has been tremendous for the Czechs this tournament.
And getting better as we've gone along. Skating with authority, moving the puck quickly, being really physical, playing big minutes, leading the entire tournament in ice time per game. And you think about a game that you ended through your legs in overtime and how that might spur you on confidence-wise to be more aggressive. And you called it early, Gord. He was all over the puck. He got that one goal, and all of a sudden now he wants it everywhere. Activating down towards the net as well. Playing like a #1 defenseman, plays for their team, does a little bit of everything and does a whole lot of it. And he has been good all tournament long and better in this game.
Plays for Brantford in the Ontario Hockey League, a powerhouse Brantford Bulldogs.
Well, he's got his future boss in the building. Doug Armstrong was here talking to us earlier, so checking out the St. Louis prospect.
His current junior owner a little busy. Zach Hyman playing at Edmonton. And the Hyman family bought Brantford from Michael Landlauer in the offseason. Hansons, who scored for the Latvians, plays that for Schmitz. Albert Schmitz chips that back in. Fibiger back to play it. Schmitz, one of the 10 Latvians who's young enough to return next year. Playing in Ukraine, in Finland's SM Liga, their top league. Used to be the Finnish Elite League. It was so much easier back then.
Top league in Finland, the Elite League, the Liga, whatever you want to call it.
SM Liga.
SM Liga. It's all the best league in Finland. And that's where he plays. And Schmitz, we talked about him maybe having a chance against Denmark to have more of an impact because have the puck a little bit more often, get to the offensive zone a bit more, and sure enough, he went and did exactly that. Pretty tidy 3-point effort for the projected top 15 and perhaps rising as we talk to some of the scouts at the tournament here. He's got the size, skates pretty well, he's got the right attitude to be a big physical defenseman.
Eligible for the upcoming draft and being talked about as a top 10 pick. Curran. Good one for Fibiger. Politin. Got to chip that back, and it's knocked back out, and Naudich brings it in. Walks it and shoots. A stop made there by Mashi. And now Benak turns it over. And Naudich plays it back down to the Czech zone. Vitols looks back down to Bearskowns. Bearskowns off the boards. Throws that back down to Delevka. And Delevka finds some space between the legs and shoots that wide.
Very nice.
Chipped ahead by Benak. Works it with Curran. Take that sharp angle shot knocked away by Maurich. Curran back for Benak. And that shot off a stick, rattles off the glass, up and out of play.
Well, Latvia coming out showing some good handles early in the second period. Delevka, who can shuffle down to the 13th forward, says, I don't want any of that. Cut and puck protection through his feet, even into traffic. Well done. And that was after Maurich. Little toe drag and then through the legs. This is why you change the angle. Big Mirtka goes down, but you have to find a seam. And that makes it so much harder for the goaltenders. Head up and a good feel to find the space. It's almost like you're not really looking for it. It's you just sort of feel where the puck can get through. And you got to get it to that spot.
Pasarichka Utah's second-round pick, Max Pesanichka, puts it back down to the Latvian zone. Douglas drops that back off and moved in by Popic. Now Novotny back the other way for the Czechs. One quiet pass on the reach of Hook. Hook got it back up, centers it. Novotny couldn't corral that. Here's Novotny back with it. On the line, but it squirted back out as Mon couldn't hold it. Offside called against the Czechs.
Mon and Novotny have a little exchange. Sorry about that. And Novotny, who is having a good year for Peterborough, leading their team in scoring when he left for the camp, hasn't had a big offensive tournament here so far. 2 assists in 3 games, but it's a solid player.
Craig Button's got him ranked in the first round. Mid-20s.
That would be more than a solid player then. That's elite level stuff. Obviously a late birthday because he doesn't have the cage on. Otherwise, if you're under 18, you'd have to wear a face protection in this tournament.
You used to go by birth year. So even after you turned 18, you had to keep wearing it until the next birth year. But then they changed it so that, for example, Gavin McKenna, who turned 18 for Christmas, could take off the full shield. Mertka walks back across the top and shoots at the deflected wide. And Galvis spins back for it. Galvis back down the Latvian zone here. Schmidt's back with it. Galvis hustles back and icing called against Latvia. Crave is now bigger and better with over 10,000 new hours of amazing content, including some of the biggest live events, select sports and news, all at the same price. Crave, endlessly entertaining.
Like the tournament, we get a day off tomorrow too, so maybe you could settle in for a Cravey kind of day.
Been that kind of weather. It's been kind of binging weather here.
Yeah, absolutely. Room service and streaming.
Fibiger looks ahead for Chias. And Chias was knocked off stride by Brietas. Fibiger pokes it down and slaps it back down to the Latvian zone as Oskars Brietas goes back to pick it up.
Look out.
Two Latvians collide, poke back across, and Chias at the side of the goal. That shot. Nestrashiv spins and shoots. That's knocked away by Mauric. Now Juracek got roughed up a bit, fell as the line is held by Sikora. Pass is picked off by Martin Svitols. Up ahead for Nautic, with the Latvians changing. Nautic puts it back in deep, and Juracek back to pick it up. 4.5 gone here in the second period. Czechia with a 2-1 lead.
Minor Czechia has something to play for here. They need to win to have a chance to get second in the group.
That would temporarily vault them over the Finns for second. And Benak shot up high, hit the mask of Mauric, who's asking the official to blow the whistle, which he's done a lot. Pasanichka, a long shot, was blocked in front. And the official talked to Mauric on the way by.
So when the puck got the neutral zone, he doesn't want to whistle anymore? And I'm all for protecting anybody who plays, but it seems sort of self-serving when he wants that whistle.
Pasanichka leaves it there for Mon. There's a decided lack of sympathy that you have for goaltenders. You see Pasanichka shoots, deflected, score! Standing in front was Politin. It might have gone off a Latvian skate.
They might have hit Sionskis down in front of the net. Mauric made the save and either ramped up off his own stick in his net, or perhaps he was worried about the rebound and banked it into Sionskis. Either way, like, Pasanichka is going to get credit for it. He activates the weak side. No trouble here. And Does that flip the calf?
Yeah, it's
of Sijanskis, or doesn't even get there? Yeah. Marich trying to flick that away. You know, and as goalies get a bit older and get a bit more aware of everything going on, they would feel that presence in that area and maybe flatten out the goal stick to push it to a different spot and not give themselves a chance to bank it in off the save. But a tough break and a good net drive that forced Sijanskis right into the crease to bother the rebound.
So Pasanichka has his first in the tournament. Mentioned a second-round pick by Utah in the last NHL draft. Plays for Portland in the Western League. 16 CHL players on this Czech roster. We were talking to Patrick Augusta, the head coach, before the tournament. He said he doesn't blame the players for doing it. The Czechs have tried all kinds of different things to keep their players back at home. Galvis centers it, chipped on goal, and Marich loves that deflection from Ludil. Max Pasanichka with a sweet bounce gives the Czechs a 2-goal lead.
We are made in Canada. Homegrown, Canadian-owned and operated. We're neighbors. Friends. Family. We're more than just made in Canada. We're a fabric of Canada.
Say you get a surf shack on Airbnb. Now you can also get a surf lesson with a pro surfer. Or if you get a place in Mexico City, you can also get a taco tasting with a food critic. You can even get a home in the heart of Seoul and a dance class, K-pop style.
All of my girls looking good and they got their own money.
Homes, experiences, and services. Now you can Airbnb more than an Airbnb.
From a first game to their biggest game. From ESSO medals to gold medals. We are dedicated to Canada's game.
Another goal for a defenseman for Czechia. This time it's Max Pasanichka. You see him just sort of sliding up the rush. Latvia over, pursues to one side. He's looking for a shot, maybe for a rebound, but unfortunately for Marich, his rebound popped into the calf of Sijanskis. And Latvia, who has been on their heels for quite some time, have to get playing here. It's going to get out of hand in a hurry. 18-4. The shots are in favor of Czechia.
And this is the team that took Canada to overtime.
It's tough to figure given how shaky they looked against Finland. We chalk that up to maybe fatigue, mental and emotional, but maybe that's what it is again today. They played yesterday and won. Maybe they're just not a team that likes going back to back.
Naudich back with it. And Naudich, a shot that pinballs around in front. Got it back up by Jiricek. Gronchak flips it back down. Loose behind the goal. Klima plays it back for Jiricek. In for Klima. Spins and fires, and Marich knocked that away. Kubiasa.
Just gonna let him stand there, and Czechia completes the change.
Right back down to Fibiger. Now off the boards. Brought in by Delevka. That shot back in front. Great chance at the side of the goal for Sijanskis. And that rolls wide. Naglus back with it. In for Sijanskis. He's off a stick and back down the ice. Best look the Latvians have had in a while. 8 gone here in the second. Naglus plays in the Swiss Junior League. Looks ahead. We've talked about this before. The Latvians, as a group, playing 14 leagues in 7 countries. Vasilevskis. And that moved away by Sikora.
Hello.
Good move there by Sikora. Finally poked away from him, and Nasiewska's trying to poke it out. Here's Sikora with it again. It was off the top of the glass.
Top of the glass. The vertical little stripe. What are the chances?
19-5, the shots in favor of the Czechs. That bounces by Mann. Back down, icing called against Latvia.
Well, Latvia has had a couple flashes, not a lot consistent, but good play here. Lefka throws it out in front, and Saratskis gets a couple different cracks at it, sliding in from behind the defenders. It's easy to get, when you have the puck so much, it's easy to lose the focus and intensity when you don't have it, because the assumption is you're getting it back really quickly anyways. And perhaps Fibiger a little bit loose on that coverage.
Shot by Mertka, kicked out by Mauric. Galvis back to pick it up. You got Galvis, the 5'10" defenseman, paired with Mertka, the 6'6" D-man for the Czechs. And that's icing called against the Czechs. So Arturs Ebols will guide his team to the top division for a 6th straight year. Latvia beat the Czechs at the 2022 tournament in Alberta. That tournament postponed to the summer. That was their first World Junior win in almost 4,000 days. They previously won in 2010. Now, of course, in the top division 06, 09, 10, 12 and 13, 17, and now more recently.
But if you can make incremental strides where, as Latvia goes along here, where it's not so much a battle to stay up. You know, they beat Denmark handily. They've taken a point off of Canada. They're comfortably going to stay up. And it's no longer about trying to stay out of relegation, but maybe close the gap to the teams ahead of you. Close it to Slovakia, Germany, whoever it might be.
There was no relegation of the 2022 tournament, but the Latvians have survived that and played in the quarterfinals the last couple of years. We mentioned they'll be in the top division for a 6th straight year. They've had some good results at the World Championship. Arturs Ebols was assistant coach of the team that won a bronze medal in 2023 in Finland. That tournament co-hosted between Latvia and Finland.
It's almost too bad that bronze medal game couldn't have been in Riga.
Right. Well, it kind of was.
Yeah, fair enough.
They sort of annexed Finland. Mertka centers it, bouncing puck loose in front of him, saved by Mauric. Brought back up by Osmanis. Osmanis with Vitols driving, the centering pass, and it's knocked away by Mertka. Mernieks holds the line for the Latvians. That's knocked away by Mertka. And Curran has it back for the Czechs to Galvis. Galvis fires that back down. Flip back in. Here's Vitols chipping that back across. Picked out by Hludil for Novotny. And Novotny back on it. That flip back for Fibiger missed and goes back to the Czech zone. Jiricek back across to Fibiger. Goes for Brampton in the OHL. His 3rd year in the O with the Steelheads. Saratskis. That's for Sienskis, and that shot fired wide by Bearskow. Jiricek. Moves that back ahead. Kronchak will try to knock it down and brought back by Naglis. Rink wide pass for Delevka. And Jiricek has it back. Still to come today in the United States and Sweden will play in about an hour's time in St. Paul for first place in Group A. And then tonight, Canada and Finland for first place in Group B. Quarterfinals take place on January 2nd. All 4 games that day. And again, if history's any teacher, there will be at least one upset in the quarterfinal day. Last 2 years, that's been Canada on the receiving end of the upset loss. Those are the games you fear. The Olympics, the World Championship, any IIHF event, the single elimination quarterfinal game. And it was Canada-Latvia in 2014 at the Olympics. It took a Shea Weber third period goal for Canada to win it 2-1.
So if you win that, you're playing for a medal. It feels like a worthy trip. If you lose that day,
you're home the next day.
Feels like a waste.
Brought back in. That centering pass by Seeker was knocked down by Schmitz. Chihas. Puts that back down. That's gloved by Maurich. And he'll hang on. 7:13 to go here in the second period. We're in the Twin Cities, not far from the headwaters of the mighty Mississippi.
No one wants to wait. Wouldn't life be great if you could just take that bucket list trip today? Upsize for your retirement sooner than later. Or start something totally new on your own timeline. Life goals, financial goals. Invest with Fidelity, and reaching them may just take less time than you think.
Locked in a stare down with Mother Nature, some wilt, but others push forward. They are the real ones, and they drink a real good light beer. Sleeman Clear 2.0. Real ones know.
If I could call myself a champion, House Targaryen might take me in.
So, Sir Duncan the Tall, how good a knight are you?
Sometimes hockey just comes down to skating fast as you can. We take a look at Vitol's trying to get on the run. And he's just a flat-out 180-foot race trying to get all the way down the ice, back-checking by Polantin and Mirtka. And trying to stay in front, please, but no. 2 back-checkers and 1 apparently good baseball player, and Mirtka turned that one aside.
Vitol's plays for Zemgali in the Latvian Pro League, which is kind of regrouped and been put back together. For a long time, Latvia had a team in the KHL, but after the Russians invaded Ukraine, and now Riga pulled out of that league. And we've got a 9-team pro league in Latvia, which includes the Kiev Capitals from Ukraine. Now a chance in front. Chihas had that block. And Mirtka put that wide. The Latvians are also trying to build a junior league in their country, but with so many players leaving in other countries, it's been difficult. Brought in by Osmanis. Post back up, Osmanis. Ups it back, Briedskis. Briedis running with a shot that goes wide. And a long pass at center ice, and Briedis took that away from Nestrashil, who had jumped in behind the Latvian defense. 6.5 to go in the second. Berniak says a knockdown by Nestrashil. Banks it ahead for Sikora. Martins Vitols. Lines through center ice and fires that back down to the Czech zone. Chip back down by Benak. Vitols looks ahead for Polis. That pass missed. And Fippiger back to pick it up. Unicek. The pass goes right down to Maurich, who knocks that away. Maurich plays for Omaha in the United States Hockey League. And Vitols back with it. Serkis walks in, feeds it across. Now to H. Had that roll off his stick right down to the goal. Knocked away by Mashi.
And Nautic has been around a little bit, showing some good hands with the puck a little bit for Latvia. Nautic plays it back around. Benak races to it for the Czechs. Passes
picked off by Serkins. Serkins lobs it back down to the Czech line. Novotny moves it and shoots. And a stop made by Maric. And that's going to be a delay of game penalty against the Latvians. And the Czechs, up 2, are going to the power play.
When it all comes together, it could mean you're ready to talk to your doctor about Wegovy. Ask for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings.
Across Canada, it starts the same way. A love for the game that unites us all. From hometown rinks to the world stage, we rise together. Every stride, every save, every dream, shared by every girl who's ever picked up a stick.
It's her shot, rebound in front, she scores!
Because when one rises, we all rise. Rise as one.
It's been an epidemic here at the World Junior as guys taking penalties, shooting pucks over the glass. Sionskis just sails it, hurt them in the Canada game, gave Canada the overtime power play, which ended their game. And Sionskis steps into the wrong box.
Whoops.
Hang on, that's not me. Now, I would give that a pass because generally
penalty for delay of game.
Teams are switching benches so you're off kilter. But he's already got a penalty today.
He knows where the penalty box is.
He's already been over there once. You think he'd know where to go.
Czechs 1 for 1 on the power play. That's a goal by Jiricek with the blast earlier. Galvis. Up the center ice to Chihas. Winds that back to Kubiesa. Now Novotny. Galvis. Works across the top. Galvis back across to Sikora. Sikora looks down at Novotny. Kubiesa with a chance there. It's knocked away and chipped back out by Serkins.
It's a tough angle to be skating sideways towards the boards like Kubiesa and take a puck going towards you from the goal line and then pull it back towards the goal. It's a lot of stuff happening there.
Galvis winds in. Pivots back across the top. Galvis. Back for Sikora. Kubiesa to Sikora. Sikora. Old habits die hard with Sikora. It is Sikora for Kubiesa. Back to Galvis. Kubiesa. Novotny. Galvis. Winds, finds a lane, goes back to Sikora. Down to Kubiesa. Sikora back with it. And a long shot. Maric makes the stop, leaning the other way, and is able to freeze it.
Almost the second own goal by Latvia. As the last one was banked in off Sionskis. This one a little higher up in the slot. It's Galvis tap dancing out top. Or Klaukens takes a bit of a spill because of it. And there's off the skate of Novotny. And that's tough to track. Good job by Maric to find it through the seam. Can't really give up another one. I think this game would be over.
25 seconds to go in the Czech power play. Jiricek back with it. Pass into Nestrashiv. Centers in, the tip just wide by Benak, and he slaps his stick on the boards.
He almost slapped his stick on the boards.
He went to do it. He made no secret of the fact that he really wanted to score the game against Denmark. And tons of looks in the third period. He was not shy about hiding his disgust. As Spitz works back in, 2 shots for the Czechs in that power play. Still a 3-1 game. When he does score, we are going to see one of the great celebrations of all time. He might ride his stick through the neutral zone.
No surprise. Offensive players like creating offense. Benach has certainly done a lot of that. Another one of these several Brantford OHL players in this tournament. Just has it skip off the top of his stick, and then Smits almost banks it in up Mouch again. Does one land flat for him? Yeah, it does. Just in the air a long time. It's hard for it not to bounce, but bounced off the top of Benach's blade, so he's not able to get clean contact.
He's a Minnesota 4th round pick, listed at 5'7", 152.
That's a tough size. You have to be exceptional with the puck to be an NHL player at that size. He's pretty darn good with it. There's more room for players at that size now, maybe more than ever in the last 25 years.
What's interesting is that when you talk to people in the scouting community, is that it's true of forwards, it's less true for defensemen. And for every Lane Hudson, there are teams that are not willing to look, especially in the first round, at undersized defensemen. 12
forwards, you play further away from your net. The battles you lose because you almost air quote might be small are not going to be as immediately impactful against for goals against. And I think that's where hockey mindset goes to sometimes. The further away from the net you are,
right,
the more latitude you have with maybe your shortcomings.
And yet there are legions of really good small defensemen.
Yeah.
There's one playing here in Minnesota, although Quinn Hughes is listed at 6 feet.
I thought you were talking about Jared Spurgeon.
Oh, him too. The captain here.
Yeah.
Hansen fires that wide of the goalie. Latvians open the scoring in this game. 6 minutes in, they take a 1-0 lead, but the Czechs have scored 3 straight since then. Again, a win for the Czechs would vault them temporarily past Finland into second place in Group B. Depending on the outcome of the Finland-Canada game tonight. And if they were to stay in second, they would avoid the U.S. or Sweden in the quarters.
Well, Switzerland has been plucky over there.
The Slovaks, too, in Group A have been very good. Sikorin tees it up and shoots. He pounded that wide. Pesanichka lobs that towards the goal. Hit Serkins in front and dropped right down. Delevka. And that knocked away. Pesanichka looks ahead for Hludil. Final minute here, the second period. Czechs with a 3-1 lead. That puck goes into the Czechia bench.
Right. So what's at stake? Czechia is going to win this game for the sake of this conversation. Okay. They will go to 8. Canada and Finland play. Canada gets any points, they're ahead of Czechia on the tiebreaker. Even if they end up tied at 8, they end up ahead of Czechia because of the tiebreaker. Finland would have to win the game in any fashion against Canada to finish second or first. It'd be first if they were winning the game in any fashion. So they're going to be first or third. Finland.
Right.
Because if they win in regulation, they're first. If they win in overtime, they're first. If they lose in overtime, they'd be third. Because they lost to Czechia in their head-to-head.
Saradskis. Good pitch that bounced away from him. Time winding down here in the period. Pesanichka. Long pass missed. As Nadras goes back, icing called against the Czechs with 5.77 seconds left in the second.
I'll clean it up. Any win by Finland in any manner, they're first. Any loss by Finland in any manner, they are third.
Why did you say that?
I was working it through out loud, which is not great television. So that's
you got there.
But Canada, they're first or second no matter what.
Right.
So the difference in motivation in that second game is pretty significant.
Yeah, the Finns have a lot to play for. You really, I mean, look, you can't pick your opponent, but
if you could, you would pick Switzerland over Sweden or the U.S. Like, that is the reality.
Swings it back, and a hard shot there at the horn by Radvanite. And the rebound turned away was Murniaks. A couple of good looks by the Latvians as time wound down here in the second period. 3-1, the Czechs lead as we enter the second intermission at the 2026 World Junior.
Thank you for your time.
Wow.
Thank you, Kendra.
Tim, you're up.
Good morning. So I think really our focus is...
You're frozen.
Are we freezing? No, not today. Not today. Well, the numbers go. If you hear nothing else I say, I am going to let you down. You want to go with Kendra?
Yes.
Poor cable internet connection.
When the stakes are high, why rely on cable internet? Switch to Canada's most reliable internet technology with a 5-year plan price lock, only from TELUS.
Right now at Harvey's, you can get 2 flame-grilled burgers for just $8. Make it an original, veggie, or one of each, and top them just the way you like. That's 2 burgers for $8, only until February 1st.
It's a beautiful day. Practice starts in 20. Let's get it. T-Mac.
Who shaves for practice?
My game face doesn't take days off with Gillette Labs. Its green bar releases trapped hairs, so you can get virtually every hair in a single stroke.
That's smooth.
The best your game can get is Gillette Labs.
This is the Mercy Capital Court, powered by artificial intelligence. Detective Raven, you're charged with the murder of your wife.
I'm not guilty.
You have 90 minutes to prove it, or you will be executed.
Use the tools.
Every camera, cell phone, and database is at your disposal.
Show me everyone she had contact with. She was seeing someone. Solve the mystery. Can I see my daughter's socials?
Hear that?
Someone was in my basement. Or face execution.
You're running out of time.
Bring that back? No, I have something here. Oh my God. Mercy. Only in theaters January 23rd.
Your home is your happy place. Until you come back to bad odors. Use Febreze plug-in with Fade Defy technology. It has 2 complementary scents that alternate to constantly fight odors and give noticeable freshness. It even reminds you when to refill, so you can always be sure that your home smells fresh and clean for up to 50 days. Enjoy the freshness of Febreze plug-in.
This holiday season, give the gift of endless entertainment.
All right, should we roll?
Right now. Get Crave starting at $3.99 a month for your first 3 months. And stream hit series.
Okay, on my couch.
Canadian Crave Originals.
Where is the elevator?
It's busted.
Plus, bring on the festive magic with iconic classics.
Best time of the year.
Get Crave starting at $3.99 a month for your first 3 months. Ends January 12th. Terms apply. Only available at crave.ca/subscribe.
Here's your second intermission on TSN as we take you inside Latvia's room. 2 goals down, 20 minutes left to somehow pull off a comeback and try to pull off the first major upset of the tournament so far. If they don't, they will finish 4th in the group. James Duffy back with Cheryl Pounder. I know we sound like a playlist on repeat, but this Czech D is sensational. That 3rd goal, not as pretty as some of the Jurček goals, but counts the same.
It sure does. And yet Galvis with the primary assist on the first goal. Jurček, as you mentioned, but Pešnička's going to start this hitting the weak side of the ice, recognizing they've got numbers over this. You're going to see Pelletin, number 18, is going to drive through the middle of the ice. When you got numbers, you jump into the pocket. You see that high ice available because Pelletin is driving the net. He's going to throw it to the net. The big man at 6'5" says, I'm just going to release it at the dot there. Winds up getting the redirect. So another defenseman getting on the board for this Czech team. I mean, they're so strong defensively, but they also activate all the time.
And Canada got a break in a way because Radi Mrtka, the Buffalo 9th overall pick from last June, was not available for the Canada game because he was hurt. Now back, and he makes that unit even better.
Yeah, and when you look at his overall game, there's a 200-foot play here that just defines him. I mean, he's a 6'6" man. So now all of a sudden he's going to lead the exit. He's an option on the entry. He's going to wind up down below the goal line. I mean, he's taking that short side dead angle shot, but look at him get on his horse. You're 6'6" and you're mobile and you can move like this to get your stick and disrupt the play. I mean, that's more than a 200-foot play. And overall, collectively, that entire group, now they're big, they're heavy, they can move a puck, and they love to jump in.
It'd be weird for the Czechs after the last couple of years in the rivalry to be cheering for Canada tonight, but that's what they'll be doing, as Mike explained, if they can hold on and win this hockey game. Up next, more on the other team, Canada. They were golden at the Four Nations. Now we know the 25 Canadians who will go for gold at the Olympics. GM Doug Armstrong joins us ahead.
From a first game to their biggest game. From ESSO medals to gold medals. We are dedicated to Canada's game.
By joining the skilled trades, you'll make a living while making places to live. You'll build a strong, stable career for today and for tomorrow. Plus, with over 140 skilled trades to choose from, there's more opportunity than ever to build a bright future for all of us. Building stronger communities right here at home. That's how we protect Ontario.
Tavares keeps it going, and it's John Tavares behind the net. Coming out in front. John Tavares! They finally come lightning in a bottle!
My name is Detective Christopher Raven. I'm proud to introduce Mercy, a judicial system powered by artificial intelligence.
He thought he created the perfect system until it turned on him.
You're charged with the murder of your wife. If you are innocent, prove it, or you will be executed.
I need to find out who killed my wife.
You have access to every camera, cell phone, and database.
Bring that back. Pause. Can you find out who that is?
You must move from one piece of the puzzle to the next.
No, I have something here. Oh my God.
Mercy. Only in theaters January 23rd.
Your home is your happy place. Until you come back to bad odors. Use Febreze plug-in with Fade-Defy technology. It has 2 complementary scents that alternate to constantly fight odors and give noticeable freshness. It even reminds you when to refill, so you can always be sure that your home smells fresh and clean for up to 50 days. Enjoy the freshness of Febreze plug-in.
Play starts with an assist. Off the ice, an assist can change a life. The Hockey Canada Foundation Assist Fund helps kids lace up and play the game we love. Give your greatest assist at hockeycanadafoundation.ca.
The grand finale of Group Play, Canada versus Finland tonight for the first seed in Group B, 8 o'clock Eastern for the pregame show. Canada has beaten Finland 6 straight times, but the Finns beat Canada in a summer showcase event handily this summer, which featured a lot of the same players on both teams. Team Canada announcing its Olympic roster today. It's loaded with superstars. Of course, people automatically talk about the omission. Sam Bennett not on the team. Mark Scheifele just misses. Zach Hyman, Connor Bedard, Matthew Schaefer. Tom Wilson, by the way, celebrated making the team with 2 goals and assists today for the Capitals in a win over the Rangers. All right, thank you. Darren Dreger and I joined by the general manager of Team Canada, Doug Armstrong. Thanks for your hustle to get over here. That was impressive itself.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Look, it's an embarrassment of riches. How would you characterize this Team Canada?
I think balanced. That's one of the things that we wanted to try and accomplish, was to give the coaching staff as many tools in the toolbox to play against any type of competition that we might have. I think we have, in points per game, I think we have the 4 top Canadian scorers. I think 7 out of the top 10 and 12 out of the top 19. So I think we can produce offense, but we also wanted to make sure we could defend well. And I think we hope we have a good balance there.
What were the lessons learned from the 4 nations that maybe went into your thinking in composing these 25 men?
The one thing that is I found consistent at any level now is you have to play inside the dots in front of both nets if you want to win. There can be skill and speed, whatever, but goals are scored from that area and prevented from that area. So we wanted to emphasize that we could defend hard in front of our net and have strong bodies that could get to the front of the opposition's net.
So, Doug, when we look up front, so 4 significant changes made up front, right? You bring in Bo Horvat, you bring in Nick Suzuki, based on the way that they've played, maybe from the men's worlds, if we're looking at Bo Horvat. Tom Wilson jumps off the page, and Macklin Celebrini. I mean, those are 4 significant changes from that 4 nations face-off. Why were those 4 guys brought in?
Yeah, they are, and I think because they've earned it.
Yeah.
But a player like Celebrini, he's so dynamic, so exciting, and he wasn't ready for the Four Nations, in our opinion. Just not, the resume wasn't deep enough. But then you watch him, he went to the Worlds, played with Sid, and what really amazed me was how comfortable he was in that environment with those players, and that says something for a young man. And then what he's done this year, it's phenomenal. Bo Horvat brings some power, some size, some strength. Top face-off guy for Team Canada. Wilson's resume is Wilson's resume at good and bad.
Yeah, good and bad.
But I like the good part of it. Yeah, so we're excited about all four guys.
Obviously, there's a lot of loyalty from Four Nations on this roster, and there's terrific numbers up and down the lineup. The numbers that are glaring are Jordan Binnington's numbers, which you've had a close eye view in St. Louis this year, in the .870 save percentage. So obviously what he did at Four Nations, particularly in the gold medal name, was impressive. But was that a decision you guys labored over a long time because of his struggles this year?
I would say I labored over it more than the rest of the management group and coaches did, which was surprising. I think you go into these events and you want to push for your players, but you don't want to over push. And I was telling the guys today, what amazed me was how comfortable the coaches and management were. That Binnington was one of the three right from the get-go, and that they confirmed that again at a December meeting. I think his pedigree of playing in big games is second to none, obviously, in our group. I think we aren't the strongest team in St. Louis right now, and you know, like we played Tampa, and his save percentage was poor the other night right before Christmas, and he had, I think, 3 tip-ins.
Is it fair to say Cooper fought hard for Binnington?
Yes. Yeah, as well did as the other coach and management. Jordan's got a lot of supporters.
So this roster, we know, littered with incredibly difficult decisions. You don't want to talk about the players that aren't on this team. That's not necessarily what this day is about. But we know as a panel group here that the omission of Sam Bennett was mildly shocking, to be fair. How difficult was that call?
It was very difficult. What we wanted to do is we called all the players this morning at 8 o'clock local time, so local to where they are. But we called the 4 players, the players that weren't part of the Four Nations that aren't part of this event, and talked to them last night. And those are always difficult calls. No one was harder or easier than the other because everyone was so important to a winning team. But yeah, there are hard decisions, and what we were trying to do again, balance this roster out. And as I said in earlier today, nobody really played their way off of this team.
Right.
Just these 25 played their way on.
It's a veteran team, and you want guys who've been there before, but how hard was it to pass on Bedard and Schaefer, who've been so unbelievable?
They went into the conversation right to the bitter end, and you know, we hope that they stay playing at this level, and we certainly hope there's no injuries. But if there are, they're in that primary group of players we're going to watch.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Listen, appreciate your time. I know it's been a busy couple of months, and best of luck to you in Milan.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Doug Armstrong, the general manager of Team Canada. Canada's first game in Italy is February 12th against Czechia. The junior Czechs up by 2 over Latvia.
Now, baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. Here's something that you're never gonna forget. But baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet.
Thank you for your time.
Wow.
Thank you, Kendra.
Tim, you're up. Good morning. So I think really our focus is...
You're frozen.
Are we freezing? No, not today. Not today. Well, the numbers go. If you hear nothing else I say, I am going to let you down. You want to go with Kendra?
Yes.
Poor cable internet connection.
When the stakes are high, why rely on cable internet? Switch to Canada's most reliable internet technology with a 5-year plan price lock, only from TELUS.
When it all comes together, it could mean you're ready to talk to your doctor about Wegovy. Ask for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings.
We're building the future of nuclear energy right here in Ontario. the first small modular reactors in the G7, the first large-scale nuclear facilities in decades, creating over 150,000 new jobs during construction and operation, delivering new opportunities for workers. We're powering a more competitive, resilient, and self-reliant economy, securing our future as an energy superpower. That's how we protect Ontario.
Your home is your happy place. Until you come back to bad odors. Use Febreze plug-in with Fade-Defy technology. It has 2 complementary scents that alternate to constantly fight odors and give noticeable freshness. It even reminds you when to refill, so you can always be sure that your home smells fresh and clean for up to 50 days. Enjoy the freshness of Febreze plug-in.
We do the job. We don't ask questions.
My mind, it hasn't been right. I'm afraid, but I can't afford to be afraid.
Most people's first instinct is to run from danger. You ran right towards it.
Memory of a Killer. Special 2-night premiere begins Sunday, January 25th on CTV.
The 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship on TSN is brought to you in part by Wegovy. Visit wegovy.ca for savings. Some exclusions may apply.
Max Pesanicha scores the only goal that second period, gives the Czechs a 3-1 lead, a wide edge in shots, 23-7 as we head for the third. Gord Miller back here with Mike Johnson. The Czechs were pretty high in their team entering this tournament. Lots of returning players, 3 first-round picks, and they've shown that that confidence was warranted.
If you think about who is a legitimate gold medal threat in this tournament, Czechia would be near the top of the list. Of course, U.S., Canada, Sweden, Finland, and Czechia. There's 5 teams. And things to like about Czechia, well, you start with the offense, and that they really have a lot of really good players. They have great depth. They roll their lines. They get offense from different people in their defensemen in Jiricek and Galvis as well. They attack and can score off the rush. They can do it off the cycle. Their power play has been pretty good. A lot of things to like about Czechia. Now, maybe the one concern would be in the tightest games how good their goaltending would be. But the way they score and the way they like to play physically, you'd have to like their chances, and they would like their chances. A real belief that they have a team good enough to go all the way.
Schmitz. Long pass to center ice. Jiricek knocks that down. And Schmitz flips it back down to the Czech zone. Jiricek back to pick it up. That pass is picked off. And Murniak, and that shot goes wide. Team start the third period, 5-on-5. The Latvian loss would leave them in 4th place in Group B. They would play the winner of the USA-Sweden game tonight in the quarterfinals on the 2nd. Galvis feeds it back. Politin, a long shot that's knocked down by Mauric. Brought up now by Galvis. Back to Murka. That shot tipped wide by Novotny. Naglis chips that back ahead. Polis knocks it down. Chopped towards the front of the goal by Nautic. And a penalty coming up as Serkins was taken to the sideboards. And we're going to penalty here to the Czechs. A minute and a half into the third period. And it'll be Curran who goes off.
Curran takes another lap to get into the ear of Serkins about that collision.
Team Czechia, number 12, minor penalty for interference.
Oh yeah, that's awkward, and the legs getting all tangled up behind him. the push in the back is one thing, but the push down, we've talked about this before, you get into the lip of the pant and push down on top of it, it really does throw the skater for a loop, puts him right off balance in an awkward spot. So here we go. It's a 2-goal game for Latvia here. They scored 3 power play goals in the tournament. Get one here and see what can happen.
They had some looks on their first power play, scored on it. The early goal by Ansons. As Osmanis brings it out. A lot of the power play goes through his hands. Osmanis had the puck at his feet. Chihas stepped into him. Here's Schmitz. Works it back across to Ansons. A long left where he normally is in the power play in front of the goal. And it's fired by him and back down the ice. Waiting back is Schmitz for the change to be completed.
A little overskate by Schmitz just cost him 25 seconds.
Yeah. First pass at the Clouts ends. Held at the line by Schmitz, who plays it back in. Delevka knocks it down the line. Lobs out wide of the goal. Clouts ends back on it. Schmitz goes on. Clouts ends pivots back. Mann stepped into him. Vitols back with it. 30 seconds to go on the Latvian power play. Cloutsens fires it back in. Out to play it. And the clearing attempt by Mašík was knocked down, and now at the line is held by Naudich. Naudich winds in. Naudich plays that back to Cloutsens. Delevka for Cloutsens. Naudich slides that back as the final seconds of the power play tick away. Cloutsens back with it. Takes the return pass. The penalized player Kearns back on the ice. Vitols a shot that goes wide. No shots for Latvia on that power play. Chihas banks it back ahead. That's knocked away by Briedis. Briedis fell behind the goal, turned it over. It's a hawk of that shot ripped wide by Kubiesa. Centering pass. It was knocked wide by Kubiesa, and Galvis plays that back to Jiricek. Galvis pulls that free. 1-on-3, plays that rink wide. Jiricek stepped up on Sirkin. Here's Galvis back with it. Pass to nobody. Picked up at center ice by Ansons. Schmitz back with it. That pass intercepted. Off back. And Vanacek, and a long shot knocked away by Mauric. Vanacek tried to keep that in, but it's brought back out by Murnieks. Crossing goes to Osmanis, shoots, and the glove save made by Mašík.
Ask for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings.
We have noticed Osmanis' good release and heavy shot throughout this tournament, and gets to the top of the circle and tries right by the ear of Mašík, and a good glove save to keep it 3-1. And Latvia sort of has this game kind of where they'd like it to be. In the third period, and of course they want to be ahead, but just, you know, they're within touch and the game's not a lot going on. Czechia's not really pressing anymore. It's just sort of grinding away. They just need to find a way to get one however they get it, lucky or otherwise, and see if they can't make a push at the end.
Last shot was blocked by Pesanichka. Klima tried to poke that ahead. Vanacek has to retreat. A delayed offside was being called. for Delevka. And Delevka's pass goes off a skate, up and out of play.
You wonder how much attention Artis Abels has put on the standings or finishing third or matchups, or it's just a question for him of let's do as well as we can every single game.
Right.
It's not so much we'd like to play Sweden versus USA or whatever. It's just got to keep pushing and try to find our best game.
And in a sense, their tournament has already been a success.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But you have that, and it's just, then how do you have to recalibrate and say, okay, right, but we need more. We have to want more to have a chance to get it. If you feel satisfied, then you're going to be in real trouble.
Fibbiger banks that back up to center ice. Polis back with it. Polis was taken down, and a penalty coming to Nestrasil.
Wow.
So Nestrasil will go for the trip, and the Latvians go back to the power play.
So they just had one, nothing doing at all. Czechia giving them a chance to get back in this game. This time it's Nestrasil headed to the box.
Czechia 14, minor penalty for cross-checking.
Oh, the cross-check.
So the last one was near the boards. This one's in the neutral zone. That's, is it more of a trip to me? I don't know if that would be a penalty in my eyes, but an opportunity for Latvia here. They just run the power play. They got a feel for it. If they can get one here, he doesn't even have two hands on the stick. Literally, his bottom hand is not on the stick. It's not. It's a shove.
Latvia had no shots in his last power play. At the line, it's held by Schmitz. Back for Osmanis. Saratskis back around for Ansons. Then fired back down the ice by Fibbiger. Osmanis goes back, and there's Schmitz. Back to Osmanis. Saratskis centers it. Back across. Saratskis shoots, scores! Marcus Saratskis, power play goal, and Latvia's back within one.
That was way better on their power play. Get the puck in the offensive zone, move it around, and what they got was briefly a pop into Mirniks, and that was enough to draw the Czechian defenders so that you can go down for a clean one-timer. Osmanis gets Juracek sprawled out. That's a good rip. Saratskis on the short side. So you get a break on the penalty call, but you got to take advantage of it. And Latvia has done just that to get back within one.
Panak with it. Panak plays it back around, looking for Kubiasa. So both Latvian goals have come on the power play. Now it's offside at the Latvian line, and they're back within one with 12:56 to go here in the third period.
Say you get a surf shack on Airbnb. Now you can also get a surf lesson with a pro surfer. Or if you get a place in Mexico City, you can also get a taco tasting with a food critic. You can even get a home in the heart of Seoul and a dance class, K-pop style.
All of my girls looking good and they got their own money.
Homes, experiences, and services. Now you can Airbnb more than an Airbnb.
On a crisp winter night by a couch twice their size, gathered a family who saw things with childlike eyes. What was this festive feel? Why, the Tim's holiday meal. There were lattes and donuts topped off with Biscoff, flatbread pizzas with festive fun socks. Let's light up the tree, we heard them cheer. Oh, well, they laughed. A small blunder, my dear. So if you too want that magical feel, feed your inner child with the Tim's holiday meal.
You're not going to get that many chances to get back into the game, and when you get them, you have to take advantage of them. Latvia does that on their second consecutive power play. Good pass down from Osmanis to Saratskis, who leans on that sharp angle shot. Nestor in the box. Won't have agreed with the call, but either way, Latvia now, with under 13 left, can push to the finish and see what happens. They got one against Canada late to get it to overtime. See if they can't do it again.
There's Bears-Cowles, who scored late in regulation to force OT there.
This game feels a lot like that Canadian game. Just hanging around. Probably should be a 3 or 4 goal lead. It's not.
Off of the boards by Murtka, goes wide. Galvis drops it back to Ludil. Klima. Wrist shot through traffic, went off the shin pad of Bears-Cowles. Up the center ice it comes. Delevka. Rick wide to Saratskis, who pounds it back down to the Czech zone. Latvia led the game on a power play goal 6 minutes into the first. And pulled it back within one with a power play goal here in the third. Pumpis. Back at the point. That long shot taken by Rethenais was blocked. At center ice. Played back by Flugans. Schmitz. Fires it back down. Tranchak. For Galvis. And Anson's picked that off and plays it back. Rethenais has his pass picked up by Chias, but it's stolen right back by Osmanis. Looks ahead for Ansons. And Sikora took that away. Sikora. As that chopped away, and Vitols races back to pick up the rolling puck. Knocked down again by Chihas. Sarts out to center ice. Delevka chips it back down to the Czech zone. Unicek. Up by the Polatine. Polatine winds in and shoots. It goes off the foot of Sarts. Up and out of play.
One of the really fun parts about this tournament is that the coaches have multiple responsibilities. They got tactics, they got line changes, but you have to remember they also need to coach, to teach. And Arzables is demonstrative, he's emotional, he's fiery, but you see almost every time someone comes off the ice, he's giving them instruction, also teaching them as they go along here, while also looking stressed.
Vitols drops that back to Naglis. First man on the puck is Naudich for the Latvians. Naudich pivots back. Naudich still on it. Shields off Fibbiger. Here checking the battle with Delevka. Curran trying to chip that ahead, but goes into the Latvian bench.
And all of a sudden it feels like Czechia is on their heels a little bit. They're not playing in the offensive zone so much, not stringing together the passes that they were earlier in the game. And what Czechia really needs is about 2 or 3 shifts in a row, down in the offensive zone, chewing up clocks. And this puck a little chipped up, and 1-2.
Look out.
But you know what, Cloudcans, when you have a cage on, you don't need to pay attention. When that cage comes off, you got to watch the puck at all times. The most dangerous spot on the ice to get hit with the puck is on the bench, because you're not paying attention. So more guys get clipped because they're having a drink or taping their sticks or something.
That shot taken by Kubiesa goes up and out of play.
And there's quite a few players with the cages on. The question always is, when you have to put something on your face, do you wear the bubble or do you wear the cage?
You wore the cage in college, right?
I wore a cage in the NHL when I broke my cheekbone for about a month.
But you didn't wear the bubble?
Never wore the iTech bubble, though. Always the wires, because that's what I wore in college and that's what I wore growing up. I like to feel the breeze in my face. I didn't like to feel like you're sort of hotter than normal.
And you did not wear a visor in the NHL, much to the chagrin of...
Yes, my parents.
Yes.
My orthodontist. Yes. Everyone with an interest.
3-2, Czechia leads. Latvia won the last meeting in the summer tournament. And the World Junior in 2022 was postponed from Christmas time. And a big hit behind the play. That was Hawk.
And another penalty coming up.
Retinice was taken down, so Hawk's going to go off here.
Get it all, screw up the change.
That's a lot of Latvians.
He did it. Oh my gosh, they're going to get caught.
Yeah, they got caught for too many men.
Is terrible for Latvia. Oh my goodness. They're trying to protest that it was the goalie. They didn't have too many.
There's the initial penalty on Hope.
We are made in Canada. Homegrown, Canadian-owned and operated. We're neighbors, friends, family. We're more than just made in Canada. We're a fabric of Canada.
By joining the skilled trades, you'll make a living while making places to live. You'll build a strong, stable career for today and for tomorrow. Plus, with over 140 skilled trades to choose from, there's more opportunity than ever to build a bright future for all of us. Building stronger communities right here at home. That's how we protect Ontario.
Invest in what you're really invested in. With custom goals and personalized advice from Scotia Smart Investor. Scotiabank, you're richer than you think.
Of course, Abel spent the entire break trying to argue that they did not, in fact, have an extra guy on the ice. So we kind of watch the puck gets played back and forth towards the own end. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Ansons touches it, but pretty much everyone else is off the ice
and the
or
goalie
the process
had gone.
of it.
And the goalie had gone.
So those guys, I mean, they're on the ice, but they're on the ice by a foot.
Oh, Czechia 25 has a minor penalty for boarding. Latvia has a bench minor penalty for too many men on the ice.
What a tough break for the Latvians.
Oh my goodness, that they did. They've got both goals in the power play. They just scored one. They were about to go on the man advantage again, and to get a too many men. Oh my goodness.
And it stays 5-on-5. Ansons bats that ahead as Murtka is back to pick it up. Jesper with a soft shot knocked away by Malrich. Jesper back on it. Down to Chihas. Chihas works his way free. Back for Galvis. Murtka centers it. Chihas tipped that wide. Galvis back with it. Slides that back to Murtka. For Chihas. Galvis works it and shoots. That goes high. Bounce off the high glass. One to the back of the net. And now Chihas plays it back to Galvis. Crisscrossing with Murtka. Galvis fires. Knocked away by Malrich. Sikora. Down to Nestrashil. Trying to jam that home below the goal line. Knocked down by Malrich. Held up the line by Murtka. Tired Latvians on the ice now. Murtka for Chihas. Back for Galvis. Has a lane. Galvis back to Murtka. In for Galvis. That's knocked off his ticket back to center ice. The Latvians can start to change. The Czechs will too. Galvis winds in 1-on-5. Drops it back for Sikora. That's broken up And Murnieks had played back down to the Czech zone, but at the clock.
That caught the clock.
Yeah.
We want to talk about a game of inches.
Okay.
So one other thing Latvia talking about, who touched this puck first? Did Benak get this, or was it cleared back into his own end by Nautic? It looks like there Nautic might have been the one who hit it, but with a little help from Benak. And if Benak gets under the stick and makes contact, then the whistle's blown, play is dead.
Right.
Too many men doesn't occur by the bench because the puck's nowhere near them.
Right.
That's how close it was. It was a strange move by Nautic to chuck it back that way, but it was aided by Benak.
Nautic moves it back to center. 7.5 to go here in the third period. Now Curran touches up, and
another penalty.
A holding call to the Czechs, and Latvia will get a power play.
Czechia not helping themselves with this parade to the box in the third period.
Team Czechia, number 18, minor penalty for holding.
Yes, that is a hold. You reached over top of Delevka, grabbed onto his arm and his stick and lifted him up. Not only did he hold, like he's grabbing on the guy's stick. That is the most obvious call you could imagine. Polentine undisciplined. Augusta doesn't like it, but when he sees the replay, he'll know. And I think Latvia just used their timeout.
They did.
To rest up. And so you would not think Latvia of having a prolific power play per se, but there they are at 42% in their 4 games up to this one amongst the powers of Canada and Sweden. So 2 out of 3 have scored on both of their shots that they have taken while on the man advantage, and they have a chance to tie the game with 7.5 left on their third power play of the third period.
Murnieks for the face-off against Sikora. And Sikora wins it to Pesanichka. Fires it back down the ice, so that'll take 20 seconds off the clock at least.
I'm not surprised. Sikora 62% coming into this game.
He does it all for the Czechs.
Everything. They need him now.
That pass misfires. Pesanichka back on it, sends it down again. And Sikora is the first man there. That forces Laurich out to play it. Around to Osmanis. The Latvians bottle up here on the power play.
Reset, get organized, get your timing down right, give yourself on the breakout.
Murnieks up for Osmanis. That's scrambled and play back down the ice by Novotny. Schmitz rink wide for Ansons.
Time to change if you're Latvia. Get the forwards off the ice. 2 have gone, 2 more are going.
Schmitz brings it back out for Flugans. Flugans in across the line. He's knocked off stride. That took the stick out of the hands of the Czech defender Fibiger, but it's sent back down. This power play's done very little so far. Cloutsands leaps it across the line for Flugans. Hard bump there from Chihas. Laurich holds that for Delevka. And Delevka back for Vitols. In for Cloutsands. Cloutsands has a look. Shoots at the flex wide. Sikora backhands it back down. 20 seconds to go on the Latvian power play. Vitols. Raise that ahead for Delevka. Serkin's trying to work that free. Delevka feeds it back across to Cloutsands. Final seconds of the power play. Cloutsands plays it back across to Delevka. Centers the jam play at the side of the goal. And Nautic couldn't cash. He was knocked down. 1 shot for Latvia on that power play. Nautic snaps it back to Vitols. Cross he goes to Brietas with a shot that deflects wide. Latvians have been more dangerous since the power play ended. Klaussens plays it back in. Mann back on it. 5 to go in the third period. Czechs clinging to a 1-goal lead. Politin out of the box. Disrupted that pass at center ice. Now the captain, Brietas. Up for Serkins. Serkins slides it back in front. Off a skate it goes. And Saratskis couldn't get a shot away. Maciejewskis moves back in. Maciejewskis centers it. That shot blocked up high by Curran. That hit him in the face.
That was the puck that got him in the face.
Curran down in the corner. 4:16 to go here in the third period. Latvia pushing for the equalizer here in Minneapolis.
When it all comes together, it could mean you're ready to talk to your doctor about Wegovy. Ask for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings.
I don't want to wait, man.
What are you talking about?
Anaconda.
Yes! Grab your friends.
I'm in.
Sweet. See the biggest comedy in the world.
Like a dinosaur!
It's the perfect popcorn movie for the holidays.
Don't leave without me!
Anaconda.
From a first game to their biggest game. From ESSO medals to gold medals. We are dedicated to Canada's game.
We're not even half done today. Still to come, the United States and Sweden in a few minutes from St. Paul at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, and then the nightcap on New Year's Eve here in Minneapolis. Team Canada and the Finns. Coverage starts at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on TSN and CTV.
And Max Curran skated into that loose puck, but judging by his reaction, I wonder if a tooth didn't end up dislodged.
He might have lost a chiclet there.
His front teeth is all he wanted for Christmas was to keep his 2 front teeth.
Face off in the Czech zone. Won by Sikora. Nerka. Out to center ice. Chihas backhands it back in, and Schmidt's back to pick it up. 27-10, the shots on goal for Czechia, but it's a 1-goal game. And this is very reminiscent of the Canada-Latvia game, where the Latvians tied it up late in the third period. Schmidt's.
He's talking to the goaltender there to stay out of the, not get out of the crease. Step into the guy in front.
And then he iced the puck.
The protests are getting louder.
Yes.
As this game has wore on. And there's Maurits going to set a pick. Goalies like to do this. They take advantage because we can't push them back, so they go and get in our way, knowing that we'll pick up an interference penalty if we skate through them. But that was the official right on top of it.
Unacek back to pick it up. The overtime hero for the Czechs in their win over Finland. Delevka flips it ahead. Bereskals with a shot that drifts wide. Bereskals with the man who scored the tying goal against Canada in the third. Sark steps up. Bereskals plays that back around. And Fibiger has it back for the Czechs. Out to center ice, Curran. Apparently a tooth lighter. Chips that back across. Picked up by Delevka. Inside 3 to go here in the third period. And we'll keep an eye on Mauric in the Latvian goal. Fibiger Out to center ice. Lead pass. Finds Saratkis. Walks it and shoots. And the save made up high by Mashi.
2:45 left on the clock. Worth noting, Latvia has already used their timeout.
Right.
Not an option to catch a breath, to set up strategy. Goalie change. They're going
to make a goalie change here.
Oh, I love it. The goalie change timeout.
So Mikas Vetsvanags, the Montreal 5th rounder who plays in the Quebec League for Newfoundland, will come on.
So when I played my 1 year in Tampa, we were trailing in a lot of games. And Steve Ludzig, our coach, would do this frequently. To waste 30 seconds, there's nothing the referees can do about it. You can't go any faster than it just occurred.
The one thing they did do was prevent the Latvians from huddling at the bench. But that seems
still bottom 90 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the next whistle, they'll swap back or pull the goaltender and continue on.
Yeah, if you're going to pull the goaltender, it doesn't really matter who it is, does it?
Put the new guy in. He's fresh and quicker.
Sent down by the Czech with the icing, and so...
I mean, yeah, they get him off the ice, put the other guy back in there.
Or just leave him.
Because there's no shame in doing what he's... You don't have to pretend like you wanted to swap goalies out. 2:34, offensive zone. Enough of that. They're going 6 on 5 right now.
They're going to keep the goaltender, whichever one they want, on the bench. An early goalie pull here. Seeker for the face-off.
62% on the tournament. 5th best for Czechia.
And Murnieks for Latvia. Wins it. Kulevka for Saratkis. Hansons plays that back to Schmitz. Schmitz dances up top. Winds in, banks it back across for Murnieks. The wall was sealed. Now it's kicked out by Sikora. A little pregame soccer coming in handy. And Saratkis drops it off for Schmitz. 2 to go in the 3rd period. The Latvian net is empty. And away comes Osmanis. Pick offensive checks waiting for him at the blue line. Galvis knocks that down. Galvis pivots back. Osmanis watching him. Mertka out to center ice. And that's icing on the Czechs. And they don't like that call.
It's a good call. Nobody touched it despite someone taking a wild swing at in the neutral zone. So a minute off the clock. Goalie stays out. I don't think Smith's got any piece of this with this. No. Oh, Chihash got a piece right there. So it should be face-off, should be at center ice.
Right. Bears Cowens in for the face-off against Sikora. Another face-off win for Latvia. Serkins back for Schmitz. Klausans takes the return pass from Schmitz. Here's Schmitz back with it. Klausans fires at the fucking high. Delevka moves it back around. Klausans racing to it and skipped away from him. Chihas has got an empty net. Gain center ice. Finds Nestershil. He scores. Václav Nestershil with the empty netter restores the Czechs' 2-goal lead with 1:17 to go in the 3rd.
Good 6-on-5 defense by Czechia. They were organized but pressuring when they could. And Klausans gets a little tangled up on the boards here. Puck gets in an awkward spot and he goes down, and then the rest is Czechia off to the races. And Nestershil finishes it. Chihash and Nestershil with the coordinated celebration.
Yes.
At the end of this. Are they hanging up on each other? Are they happy with each other? Whatever it is, they're happy with a 4-2 lead. And valiant push by Latvia. Here's the, that's enough of that. Click.
So the Czechs look primed to move into a temporary hold on 2nd place in Group B. Saratkis shot trickles back down in front, picked up by Novotny. Inside a minute to go in the third period. So the Latvians gave the Czechs all they could handle.
It's exactly like the Canada game, except Latvia was unable to find the 6-on-5 goal to tie it up. Poland had better be careful, no one steps on his foot. Hopefully, get out of there.
Poland team shot the ref some stink eye for him. Get whacked that like that. Knocked down by Novotny, and they'll call the puck with a high stick. The faceoff will go back down to the Czech zone.
And I think Poland team was trying to get out of that scrum behind the net and not have the offside be called, but the Czechs have been a little frustrated with the officiating in the third period, but mostly frustrated with themselves, perhaps, with the penalties that they took. And so that's it. Latvia will head in as the 4 seed. Czechia now will leapfrog Finland. And if Finland wins, they're first, Canada second, Czechia third. If Finland loses, it is Canada 1, Czechia 2, Finland 3, which does matter on the crossover.
U.S. playing Sweden just seconds from now. Ryan Woodrick and Craig Button will have to call that game for you. Hawk plays that back across the line as time winds down here in the third period. And a penalty being called here.
A little trip in the neutral zone on Bears-Cows.
Latvia number 7, minor penalty for tripping.
Gotta appreciate the fight. The uphill battle. Latvia's been chasing the puck a lot in this game. Wayward stick into the feet. Benak.
And off the draw, chance there for Kubiesa. And a save made by Mauric.
Pretty good chance right off a face-off.
4 quarterfinals on Friday coming up. Starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Moon Local.
Now the fun and the stress begins.
Yep. So the Czechs improve their record to 3-1 with their 3rd straight win. Latvia falls to 1-3. Latvia will be 4th in Group B. The Czechs right now are in 2nd, tied with Canada at 8 points, but they lost the head-to-head matchup. On a fascinating final day of the preliminary round of the 2026 World Junior. Czechs win at 4-2, final shots 29-10 in favor of Czechia.
The goalie rotation continued for Czechia. We would probably assume that Orszalak will play the quarters and maybe from here on out. Either way, they'll survive in advance. Just do what you have to do, pick up the points, give yourself your best chance going forward, and Czechia did enough in this game to give themselves their best chance going forward.
The best players of each team will now be awarded with a Faribault Mill blanket featuring the Land of 10,000 Rinks mural, specially commissioned for the 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship. Designed by Minnesota-based Indigenous artist Shauna Boulette-Grapentine as part of the Assist 26 community initiative, the artwork honors the Indigenous lands, cultural teachings, and deep hockey roots that define Minnesota. The prizes will now be presented by Mitch Schmidt, rental specialist at Pleasureland RV, one of the official transportation providers of the 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship. The best player for Team Latvia, number 6, Martins Vitos. And the best player for Team Czechia, number 5, Adam Juszczyk.
You gonna check?
He wasn't sure with that pronunciation if it was him or not.
First-round pick of the St. Louis Blues. Has goals in 3 straight games now for the Czechs.
At this time, for those who are able, we ask that you please rise for the national anthem of Czechia.
We said coming in, the Czechia thought this was one of the best teams they'd ever sent to this tournament, and tough game today, but they're now 3-1. Only that 7-5 loss to Canada, and tonight they cheer for Canada against Finland.
The 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship on TSN is brought to you in part by TELUS, now offering 5-year plan price lock on select mobility and internet plans. By ESSO, from the ESSO Medals program to representing Team Canada, ESSO is dedicated to Canada's game. And by Tim Hortons, proudly supporting over 100,000 Timbits hockey players in Canada.
Thank you for your time.
Wow.
Thank you, Kendra.
Tim, you're up. Good morning. So I think really our focus is...
You're frozen.
Are we freezing? No, not today. Not today. Where are my numbers go? If you hear nothing else I say, I am going to let you down. You want to go with Kendra?
Yes.
Poor cable internet connection.
When the stakes are high, why rely on cable internet? Switch to Canada's most reliable internet technology with a 5-year plan price lock, only from TELUS.
Where the next generation of stars become legends and lifelong dreams turn to gold. It's the annual tournament that defines Canadian pride. The 2027 World Junior Championship is coming to Edmonton and Red Deer. Don't miss your chance to celebrate a holiday hockey tradition you'll never forget. Ticket packages won't last long. Your best shot at seeing Team Canada at home is to sign up for the priority draw. Don't
Месяц встал над лугом, неизменным дивным кругом, светит и молчит. Бледный луг цветущий, мрак ночной по нем ползущий, отдыхает, спит. Жутко выйти на дорогу, непонятная тревога под луной царит. Хоть и знаешь, утром рано солнце выйдет из тумана, поле озарит. И тогда пройдешь тропинкой, где под каждой пылинкой жизнь кипит. И тогда пройдешь тропинкой, где под каждой пылинкой жизнь кипит. Над лугом, неизменным дивным кругом, светит и молчит. Бледный луг цветущий, мрак ночной по нем ползущий, отдыхает, спит. Жутко выйти на дорогу, непонятно под каждой пылинкой жизнь кипит. И тогда пройдешь тропинкой, где под каждой пылинкой жизнь кипит. Хоть и знаешь, утром рано солнце выйдет из тумана, поле озарит. И тогда пройдешь тропинкой, где под каждой пылинкой жизнь кипит. Пусть светит месяц, ночь темна, пусть жизнь приносит людям счастье. В моей душе любви весна не сменит бурного ненастья. Ночь распростерлась надо мной и отвечает мертвым взглядом на тусклый взор души больной, облитой острым сладким ядом. Облитой острым сладким ядом. И тщетно страсти затая в холодной мгле передрассветной. Среди толпы блуждаю я, с одной лишь думаю заветной. Пусть светит месяц, ночь темна, пусть жизнь приносит людям счастье. В моей душе любви весна не сменит бурного ненастья. Светит месяц, ночь темна, пусть жизнь приносит людям счастье. В моей душе любви весна не сменит бурного ненастья.